Thank you so much for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small. Now, we've been talking quite a bit about the presidential election that's going on right now, and how can you not talk about it? It's been just a crazy election to watch. The campaign so far has been going on for over a year, and you'd think that by now it would be losing some steam, but it just keeps getting more and more exciting. And I know that we've got a lot more to come. We've got conventions that are coming up here. But we're going to turn our attention right now to another race that's going on. We got to remember, in addition to the president, we've got a lot of senatorial seats and congressional seats up for election right now as well. And we've got one of the candidates with his name on a ballot in the state of Florida joining us today. We have Ernie Rivera, and Ernie is a Republican from the state of Florida. Ernie, thank you for joining us today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, John. Thank you very much. And greetings to everyone that's listening to this great show today.
Well, Ernie, we're excited to have you on the program. Let's talk a little bit about your background, because you're not a career politician. Tell everybody a little bit about who Ernie is.
No, sir. I'm an outsider. I've never been a politician, and I'm coming in like a storm, like they say, because I understand that we got to take back our country. And I've been in the background for over 35 years, helping the party out, or backing up candidates. But I understand that things have gotten a little bit out of hand, and like most Americans right now, we want to take back our country. It's our country. We think we have to take control of it and bring back some common sense. They call me the compassionate conservative, like Ronald Reagan would say. I'm a compassionate conservative. And I like that phrase of common sense, you know. Let's start thinking straight again, you know. All this stuff about transgender bathrooms and all, those are a lot of crazy stuff being said out there. We got to take back our country. That's what we're doing.
Let's turn our attention a little bit to Donald Trump. There are a lot of people that are really divided over Donald Trump. Are you a supporter of Mr. Trump, and what are your thoughts there?
I'm a Republican, and I will support the candidate of my party. I'll be really open with you and with everyone hearing. I've been a Bushie all my life. You know, for 30 years, we've been backing the Bush family and President Bush father, and then George W. My wife and I were the hosts of the first gala, the Hispanic Gala, for George W. in 2001. So imagine if I've been backing them up for a long time. Nevertheless, I saw that Jeb had a different view. He was probably one of our greatest governors here in Florida, and my Lord, I wish we could have him again. But I understand that Mr. Trump has a different way of thinking, okay? And sometimes I've said in a bunch of radio shows and TV shows, I said, he's kind of crazy, okay? He says things off the wall, but my Lord, he is a genius. The man understands things that other people don't understand. He gets it, okay? I've been in business, and I relate to what he says. We have to have people that know real life. Donald Trump understands real life, you know. Not all the politicians have been in Washington for 30, 40 years. I think they're kind of detached of what the real people, what we're living, you know, the problems, the mortgages and the problems with bills and raising kids as normal parents. Donald Trump is for me, he's a very bright mind. And I like to see, John, when I see people, you know, let's drop the emotion and all the showbiz, and let's look at the person. How did he raise his children? His children are all gentlemen. They're all educated. They're professionals. I look at those little signals that we can signs when they get together. I've seen him hug and kiss his grown children, and they kiss his father. There's a respect there, and they speak so highly of him. Besides, Mr. Trump doesn't drink a drop of alcohol, nor does he smoke. That says a lot about a man that in those spheres, you know, up there in business. They say that his daddy gave him $1 million to start off business. And I say, that's great. He turned it into $10 billion. I'd like to learn his techniques, that.
Yeah, not bad.
That's not too bad. Maybe I should go to his university.
Again, visiting right now with Florida Republican senatorial candidate Ernie Rivera. Thank you to your son for serving our country. I think that's important. I have several relatives that are in law enforcement. And when you think about it, we've got people who serve overseas in the military, and quite often people will stop them in an airport and say, thank you for your service. I'm encouraging people to do that same thing to the men and women in uniform right here that are serving in our country. Be sure to stop them and say thank you for your service as well, because I'll tell you,
sir. I think you're right.
They don't get the recognition they deserve.
100% right.
Now, let's talk a little bit about leadership, because I truly think that what's happening in our country right now would not be happening if we had a leader that would lead, because there's a group of people right now that are very upset with the police. And I was watching a video of an ambulance trying to get through the city streets, and there was a group of people blocking the ambulance. Now, in that ambulance could have been one of the people that's on their side. You get out of the way and you let an ambulance through. You just do that. That's the law. You have to do that. But without laws, without people enforcing those laws, it would be a completely different world that we live in. And I think it's really important that we have people in positions of power that have some leadership that can speak to these people and get through to them and say, hey, this is not the way for you to get your way. This is not the way that you want to be remembered. What would you say to this large group of people in a leadership role, people that are causing violence against the police and people that are doing what they're doing? What would you say to those people blocking the interstates and stepping in front of vehicles to get them to stop? What would you say to those people?
Well, there you're pressing some buttons, because I'm a compassionate conservative, but I'm very high-strung about people disobeying the law and hurting others. And when I see things out of order, you're describing anarchy, right? That's called anarchy. Anarchy is when you don't have absolutes. Okay, when people don't have laws, then you're not called a civilized country. And that's what these people are trying to do, is everybody do what you feel right. No, we can't live like that. There's rules, there's regulations. To be able to live in a society that has civilized patterns of education, of thought, of religion, commerce, you have to have rules. Those people that cannot live with our rules should go back to their countries. If they don't like our rules, they should go look for someplace else. We are a country established with a constitution. That constitution is our book of rules. And these individuals, okay, and I'm going to mention that right out front. This group called the Black Lives Matter, I believe they are crossing already into the criminal stage. They should be arrested and placed in jail. Those that are going against our established. Look, you don't like the way we have it? Well, elect people that have your values then. You want to have chaos? Well, elect, Hillary Clinton. She's a lady that will want to take our country down another path. So if you like that, well, fantastic. You want to become a socialist country. I've been to Cuba doing mission trips, helping the poor down there. I have seen what a socialist and communist country is firsthand. I've been in their homes. I've seen them with one stick of butter to last 4 people a whole month. 1 cup of sugar is what they receive for a whole month. Okay, you want a socialist country like Bernie Sanders was saying? Well, okay, go ahead. Vote. That is, if that's what you want. If you want our country to turn into a country like that, I'd first say just take a trip down and find out what it is before you do a mistake like that. No, we have to stand firm in our beliefs. Our country is a country of laws, John. We cannot let lawlessness abide and control our country. And those that are going past that limit, No, I am not going to say they're nice people. I'm not going to say they have their rights. Your rights stop at the doorsteps of my rights.
Exactly.
You cannot abuse. You can't be a tyrant. You cannot bully me around. And every single American should stand up and say, enough is enough. We're not going to hold on to this anymore.
Again, visiting right now with Florida Republican senatorial candidate Ernie Rivera. Ernie, it's been a pleasure to visit with you. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us. And I know with your background as a pastor and being a Christian, I think you would agree with this completely as well. I think one of the things that would solve a lot of the problems is if we were a Christian nation again, like we used to be, and I really truly think we can be again. Think about what Jesus said when he was here. He said, love one another. If you love one another, you don't do a lot of the things that are happening in this country right now. You just don't do that. So think about what a difference that would make if we could get back to the Christian values that this country was founded on.
Yes, sir. 100% with you on that. And thank you so much for having me on your program today. And I pray that God will bless every single family listening, every single person, and give us guidance and understanding to know how to do what we have to do. We've got to take back our country. God bless you.
And you as well. Ernie Rivera right there. Again, if you'd like to know more about Ernie and his campaign, the website is Ernie2016.com. That's ERNIE 2016.com. Thank you so much for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small.